When standing at the crossroads of life, where unforeseen events can alter the course of one's destiny, the adaptability of an individual will greatly influence their achievements. Facing few disruptions without losing composure is crucial. Bewilderment and fear may hinder one's ability to build solid trust among those around them. Even when faced with seemingly insurmountable challenges, maintaining a clear and composed state of mind is essential to effectively navigate the changing circumstances. Demon Cock II, also known as Vuong in the era of the Tang Dynasty, was a revered sage Zen mentor. Renowned throughout China, his teachings spanned a wide array of disciplines, from strategic planning to spiritual enlightenment. Among his disciples were luminaries of strategy and tactics, revered throughout the spring and autumn periods. Should one believe their feedback can contribute positively to another's improvement, it should be delivered constructively. In situations where complaints offer no resolution, maintaining silence is preferable. When faced with circumstances where complaining yields inferior results compared to proactive actions, choosing the latter is advised. As writer Aldous Happer once stated, "Don't explain yourself. Your friends don't need it, and your enemies won't believe it." This is also one of the reasons why they can easily earn a lot of money and achieve things that few can achieve. Furthermore, people with big dreams often have the ability to take strong action and execution, turning their big dreams into practical actions. They are good at planning, organizing, and managing their time, as well as their resources. A warm heart helps them have good social skills, communicate easily with others, gain trust and support through communication and positive interaction in the workplace. They continuously accumulate experience and knowledge, while enhancing their core competitive abilities. Therefore, such people are often very successful in the workplace. Those with a warm heart and a cool head, according to The Art of Reading Others by master strategist QCCCT, tend to achieve more success and fame than others. They can quickly establish wide social networks and effectively utilize these resources to seek benefits for themselves. Meanwhile, a cool head helps them withstand pressure and think thoroughly about issues. Additionally, a cool head enables them to think quickly and react promptly, making accurate judgments swiftly when faced with failures and difficulties. They can always maintain an optimistic and positive attitude, finding solutions to problems and rarely giving up before achieving their goals. However, these individuals also have the disadvantage that their decisions can sometimes be too harsh on others. Lazy people, those who exercise their brains, are the third group mentioned by master strategist QCCCT. These people are often considered lazy because they seem to be lazy in physical activity. However, what makes them successful and wealthy is their brains. These individuals are very diligent in using their brains. They think and contemplate more than others. Their strength lies not in physical diligence, but in intelligence derived from their talented minds, which helps them solve most problems. Additionally, they are very good at managing and leading people. Lazy people need a special way of working. They will find space to think about their future development and achievements in their spare time. QCCCT is one of the most talented disciples of the old master, known to later generations as a famous strategist during the spring and autumn period of the warring. G states, they also value work and can use their intelligence and talent to help others, making their work more efficient and productive. The lessons from master strategist QCCCT teach us that not everyone is suitable for sharing all the stories in their hearts. Truly intelligent people know how to keep their mouths shut and keep secrets. His true name was Vuong, but because of his residence in the demon cave, he was known to the public as QCCCT. His teachings always carry profound philosophical lessons, which, despite many ups and downs, still retain their exemplary values. People often say, every tree, every flower, every house, every scene, every family has its own story, with joy, sorrow, happiness, and pain that outsiders cannot fully understand. When looking at others' lives, we may see them very happy, but behind that could be many other stories. The most notable lesson is the teaching that, no matter how close you are to someone, you should never speak out three things. Intelligent people must know early on to preserve their relationships. First, do not talk about other people's family matters. Even if the relationship with friends is good, or even if they are family members, one should not discuss other people's family matters. Whether the situation is good or bad, one's family matters are a sensitive issue, and we should respect others' privacy. This is basic courtesy, and a measure of one's responsibility to others. The closer the friend, the clearer the boundaries should be. This is a factor in maintaining good and long-lasting relationships in any situation. Therefore, learn to keep your mouth shut and respect others to gain their respect. Many people think that every time there is discord or conflict in the family, they should tell outsiders as a way to relieve their frustration and feel relieved. Sharing too much with friends not only makes them uncomfortable, but also shows oneself to be too talkative. Even if you share these things with the wrong person, it can be harmful later. Second, do not talk about bad things in your own family. If your family has its own story, don't expose it to others. We should understand that bringing negative issues from our family into the open not only doesn't make us look better in others' eyes, but can also affect close relationships within the family. However, this is not entirely correct. Remember that evil spreads far and wide. Today, you told the story of your family to a close friend, but the next day, your family's private matters were spread everywhere. Furthermore, sharing your family matters with others sometimes leads to unfavorable comments. Even if we have no malicious intent in our words, we cannot be sure if others will exaggerate or misunderstand. This can ultimately lead to unnecessary troubles. If inadvertently someone's ear catches something, everyone will make mistakes. Don't let these minor things affect the reputation of your family. Don't casually talk about things accomplished through others' help in society today. We cannot deny the importance of relationships, especially in business. Even though relying on acquaintances to achieve success, promotions, or career advancements is common, this type of success may not last long. A strong network of relationships helps us in times of need. However, relying solely on relationships to achieve success is not a good strategy. If abused, it can leave long-term disadvantages. In reality, no matter how close you are, this issue can only be seen as a coincidence. If you speak casually to others without consideration, they may think you are someone who only knows how to take advantage of others, lazy, and doubtful of your abilities. Depending solely on the resources and connections of others can make us complacent and lacking motivation to improve ourselves. Moreover, what we achieve through relying on relationships may not be something to be proud of. This is a sensitive issue that not only arouses envy and jealousy in others, but also undermines our credibility and the respect of others. This is a lesson that the master strategist QCCCT reminded intelligent people to realize early to avoid many disasters. Life is full of stories that make us want to confide in someone. However, people's hearts are distant, even if they are close. And you never really know how others perceive your story. What you want to share may be a forest to you, but to others, it's just a blade of grass. Second, we don't have the right to choose our birthplace, lineage, or identity. But we completely have the ability to decide which relationships need to be carefully filtered, because they directly influence our future. 3 types of relationships that need to be carefully filtered by master strategist QCCCT. First, choose the difficult ones over the easy ones. Those who know how to choose their friends wisely will have quality relationships, and the results will be completely different from those who only associate with negative relationships regularly. There's an old saying that goes, "Near ink is black, near light is bright." Choosing friends is a vital process that plays a significant role in the long-term development of each individual. Mastermind QCCCT taught that the importance of relationships lies not in their quantity but in their quality, applied to the process of filtering relationships. The more one understands this, the more they prioritize quality over quantity in friendships. Therefore, the wise must know how to filter from the first encounter. There are 3 types of negative people that need to be filtered out. The first is the type of person who speaks one way and acts another. QCCCT believes that when words and actions are inconsistent, it's a sign to stay away. Such individuals are hard to trust and respect because they don't take responsibility for their words. The second is the type of person who always puts their own interests first. They view friends as tools to achieve their own benefits and are willing to betray current relationships when there's an opportunity for greater profit. The third is the type of person with narrow vision, only focusing on short-term benefits and considering them the most important. They often underestimate long-term values and are willing to sacrifice them for small and trivial gains. Conversely, there are 4 types of people one should befriend. The first is positive and sober-minded individuals who can handle adversity and strive for progress in difficult circumstances. They can have a positive influence on those around them and help us develop positively. The second is steadfast and sincere people who not only speak, but also act without regret. They are always reliable and worth long-term friendships. The third is people who can control their emotions, not being swayed by them, and can make decisions calmly and objectively. They can achieve great success in their careers and are not influenced by emotions. From ancient times to the present day, great intellectuals and strategists like Confucius and Decathlon have always been highly respected and considered as role models to emulate. The fourth is people who possess virtues, are polite, and not arrogant, whether they are wealthy or have power. They know how to maintain humility and consistency in all situations. By filtering and befriending people of good character, we can achieve success and happiness in life. Little is known about his true identity, as he chose to live in seclusion early on, residing in the Devil's Cave and adopting the pseudonym QCCCT. However, there are also renowned strategists who excel in their abilities and have the capacity to dominate the world, yet choose to live away from the noise and chaos of the world. One such mastermind is QCCCT. During the Three Kingdoms period, figures like Cao Cao and Liu Bei were known for their ability to discern people and excel in strategic matters. Throughout history, Successful individuals share a common trait, unique vision. QCCCT, the progenitor of military strategists. One summarized a method to assess a person's abilities. He believed that to understand someone's true character, one only needed to observe their reactions in 3 situations. Firstly, one should observe how a person responds to your difficulties. While it's easy to find drinking buddies, those who are willing to lend a helping hand in times of need are the ones worth keeping. True friends are those who stay by your side during challenges and hardships. Secondly, one should evaluate how a person reacts to temptations and personal gain. People who are willing to sacrifice ethics, principles, and friendships for immediate profit are not worthy of trust or companionship. Thirdly, one should assess how a person maintains composure and principles when faced with wealth and power. Those who can resist the allure of material gain and uphold their integrity are the ones who deserve respect and trust. QCCCT also shared 3 valuable communication principles. Firstly, when conversing with individuals of high status, one must maintain confidence. Such individuals are often well-educated and have been groomed from a young age, possessing the demeanor of nobility. Therefore, it's important to exude confidence and composure when interacting with them. Secondly, one should avoid being overly deferential or arrogant. Instead, maintain a level of politeness, comfort, and tranquility. Lastly, when dealing with individuals of higher status, it's crucial to strike a balance between confidence and humility. While it's important to be assertive, one should avoid arrogance or excessive deference. Confidence, coupled with respect and calmness, is key to successful communication. Following these principles, one can navigate social interactions with confidence and grace, ultimately leading to personal growth and success. So regardless of who they are, they will always show you a certain level of respect. Secondly, conversing with wise individuals. Here, being sincere with wise people means referring to those who are intelligent or have a deep understanding of knowledge, even if you haven't fully expressed yourself. They comprehend your intentions and can expand upon them tenfold in communication. They delve so deeply into matters that sometimes you may feel inadequate simply because they are overly astute. Consequently, you may feel internally scrutinized. These feelings are not easy to handle. The simplest way to deal with them is to genuinely interact, not with hidden motives, but with authenticity. Express your true thoughts and intentions. The wise will be wise enough to recognize your sincerity and reciprocate in kind. Likewise, those seeking personal gain, attempting to exploit situations for their own benefit, will find it challenging to escape the scrutiny of the wise. Though they may not vocalize it, they will soon distance themselves psychologically. Thirdly, avoiding conversations with petty individuals. Steer clear of those obsessed with money and ego, as this encompasses a myriad of negative behaviors, not only in the business world but also in personal relationships and dealings. Despite any personal dislikes, we must still engage with them cautiously and in such situations. Carefully choose your words and actions, especially avoiding references to money or personal gain, which may breed envy or manipulation. These emotions are distilled from life experiences. Learning and applying these 3 principles in life will gradually enhance your daily communication skills. It's essential to differentiate what should be said and what shouldn't be said regarding the following 3 points. Silence is better than foolish or arrogant speech. This is easily understood because folk wisdom has long indicated that those who talk big often lack substance. Their actions rarely align with their words, resulting in widespread disregard from those around them. Avoid excessive complaints, especially towards others. Don't turn others into sounding boards for all your negative emotions and excessive opinions. Avoid deceit and meaningless chatter. Individuals who constantly engage in meaningless talk eventually lose the trust of others. No one wants to listen to someone who talks endlessly without purpose. The lessons from the book of CCCT emphasize the importance of being prudent in four aspects of life. These principles are invaluable advice from the master strategist, CCCT, that everyone should be aware of before entering middle age. CCCT is one of the most brilliant disciples of the renowned philosopher, J.K. Tai, during the Warring States period. His teachings always carry profound philosophical lessons for humanity, regardless of the fluctuations of time, prompting future generations to reflect deeply. One of his most significant teachings is about being frugal in four areas of life. This advice can make our future smoother and wealthier. Conversely, extravagance and indulgence in these areas can lead to immense difficulties and regrets. Men should be frugal with valuable advice. The sooner we learn these lessons, the better for ourselves. The more frugal we are with our time, the better. Ancient sayings liken time to snow in winter on grass in summer. Once it's gone, it's gone. Thus, we need to value and cherish our time, just as CCCT taught us. Additionally, it's not without reason that people say time is as precious as gold and silver. Those who manage and conserve time wisely are often the ones who prosper in the future. He emphasized that time is distributed equally among all people. How we use our time will determine our lives and future. If we are too casual in our use of time, spending it recklessly and imbalanced, solely indulging in pleasure, or wasting time with unworthy pursuits, we risk facing extreme hardships in the future. Being frugal with emotional attachments is essential. Emotions are precious to everyone. Therefore, when giving emotions to anyone, it's crucial to consider carefully. When we give away emotions, we give the other person the power to hurt us. Therefore, be prudent and cautious when giving emotions. Don't rush decisions without careful consideration. Life will be easier and less burdensome with such caution, without being troubled by any relationship. Being frugal with money is often viewed unfavorably by many people to this day. They believe that being thrifty with money makes one stingy, miserly, and difficult to get along with. Moreover, we should learn to be frugal with our spending, planning our expenditures wisely instead of indulging in reckless spending and accumulating debts. However, being frugal with money can take various forms. There are situations where being frugal with money is more beneficial, such as being cautious before lending money to lazy borrowers, to avoid financial losses and negative impacts on relationships and harmony in the future. People who indulge themselves excessively are prone to compromising with laziness and their own desires, which can lead to neglecting themselves, gradually slipping into stagnation, passivity, and failure. We should learn to save and invest wisely, never impulsively spending large sums of money, which may lead to regret later on. Being frugal with self-indulgence is vital. Indulging oneself without strict self-management methods can become a double-edged sword, causing self-harm. Not being frugal at the right time with oneself can be extremely harmful and lead to unforeseen consequences, especially for men. Living in indulgence and constantly compromising to indulge oneself will inevitably result in tremendous difficulties. and hardships in the future. Being able to discern these characters is an essential knowledge in CCCT's wisdom, helping us communicate effectively with others and distinguish between the genuine and the fake, the trustworthy and the deceitful. One might even destroy their entire future unknowingly. CCCT was adamant about avoiding these 6 types of individuals, asserting that associating with them would either result in financial loss or severe consequences. CCCT, known as the strategic sage, integrated profound thoughts and understanding of life into his teachings. He then compiled the book Beyond the Tomb of CCCT, leaving it as a legacy for future generations. The book includes strategies for dealing with human weaknesses, observations and coping mechanisms for the world, and deep insights into life. How can one treat others well if they lack the basic morality of respecting their own parents? Such individuals are not worth even a penny. It's a valuable read, akin to a masterpiece, offering a wealth of knowledge. I have summarized the 6 types of people one should never associate with in life, as instructed in the book. Ungrateful individuals, especially those who are disrespectful to their parents. Those who only think about themselves, calculating every interaction for their own benefit. They prioritize their own interests above all else, even at the expense of others. Ruthless Chinese speakers, who only care about pleasing their own mouths without considering others' feelings. They speak without thinking about the consequences, often causing confusion and trouble. Weak and useless individuals who lack the courage to accomplish great things. It's not wise to befriend or collaborate with them, as they can't handle significant tasks. These teachings of CCCT provide timeless wisdom for navigating the complexities of life. Sometimes, in front of us, they speak beautifully and act kindly to help us, but in reality, they are only exploiting us for their own gain. By heeding these lessons, we can avoid unnecessary hardships and pave the way for a more prosperous and fulfilling future. For those who do good deeds, have evil intentions, they are extremely frightening. We can never know what schemes are hidden behind their actions, gestures, or pleasant words. When they see that you no longer bring them fame or fortune, they will ruthlessly discard you without any remorse. Therefore, it is best to stay away from people with this hypocritical trait as soon as possible. They envy others and always believe they are the best. If they see themselves superior, they will show contempt without considering anyone else. It's best not to associate with them, because they will never stop comparing and envying, leading to negative thoughts, and they are willing to stab you in the back anytime. Conversely, if they see themselves inferior, they will pretend to be normal outwardly but secretly harbor envy and do everything to slander and undermine others. People with such malicious traits are always envious of others' values. Therefore, it's necessary to keep a distance and avoid those with these characteristics. This is one of the most noticeable traits of those willing to betray you, seeking only personal gain. They are selfish and will do anything to exploit others for their own benefit. They are the most frightening, because from the beginning of the relationship, they calculate the benefits they can derive from you before forming any bond. Once these individuals have exhausted the value they can exploit from you, or when you become a liability, they will unhesitatingly betray you for their own gain. Therefore, one should never befriend them because you never know when you will be betrayed. There is an old saying that make friends with the right people, as they add to the journey of life. Conversely, befriending the wrong people brings disaster and conflict, sometimes even causing us to lose our inherent good nature. This saying is similar to playing with good people, is like entering a garden. Afterward, the fragrance remains. Playing with bad people is like entering a fish market. Afterward, you don't even know your own odor. However, for over 2,000 years, the posthumous reputation of the Demon's Peak Master has been associated with numerous accolades. Revered by military strategists as a sage, revered by Taoist diviners as the ancestor of their practice, and listed alongside other venerable figures. In the era of the Warring States, there was a mountain called Demon's Peak in Thenkei. It was the residence of a hermit revered as Demon's Peak Master. Every day, he read Taoist scriptures and meditated deeply. On the mountain, he never engaged with worldly affairs, living a completely different life from the rest of the world. His teachings profoundly influenced his four disciples. In a time of turmoil during the Warring States period, they achieved remarkable military accomplishments, influencing the political landscape. Understanding the world. If one wants to grasp their destiny firmly, they must learn to observe the world, understand the trends of the world, and grasp the rhythm of the universe. This is known as understanding the world. All their achievements were attributed to the guidance of the Demon's Peak Master, whose teachings were deeply profound. Below are the teachings he imparted to his four disciples. Perceiving the essence. Essence refers to the underlying principles of everything. By perceiving the essence, one can see through the true nature of things. Without moral principles and ethical values guiding these techniques, the higher the level of strategy, the more likely it is to lead to deviations. Hence, moral principles are essential. Planning strategy. Before taking any action, one must plan their strategy. Only after careful consideration and planning should one proceed with action. Cultivating the mind. Mind cultivation refers to various psychological and strategic techniques. Observation. Observing the world is like observing a high mountain. It requires not only the eyes, but also intuition and using the heart to perceive. Taoist enlightenment. Enlightenment has four levels. The first is hearing the Tao, the second is understanding the Tao, the third is seeing the Tao, and the final stage is achieving the Tao. Looking at a high mountain doesn't necessarily mean climbing to the top to see the valley below. Conversely, if one truly climbs to the summit and looks down at the valley, suddenly the mountains and valleys become peaceful. Using strategy. In any discipline, there are both techniques and strategies. Using strategies is like playing a game of chess. Winning a battle isn't just about defeating the enemy, but also about minimizing losses and casualties. Therefore, before engaging in any battle, one must plan their strategies carefully. Articulate speech. A person with the ability to articulate speech can influence others simply by speaking. Their words have a profound impact, causing people to think or act in ways they may not want to. When they don't speak, their presence is like a towering mountain or an arrow on a bowstring, ready to be released. Although they don't speak, their silence is louder than words. These teachings cover various aspects of life, from understanding the world and perceiving its essence to planning strategies and cultivating the mind. They emphasize the importance of moral principles and ethical values in guiding one's actions and strategies. If you want to see the whole forest, you must stand on a high peak, use intuition, and then use your heart to look down. Then you can clearly see the 9 islands, the way of heaven, the holy way, the way of humanity, and the way of nature. These are the principles of the natural order. The principle of mutual generation and mutual restraint of all things in the universe. The holy way is the island in the mortal world, as well as the determination of the world's celestial empire. The great way of humanity is the way of human life, which is the principle of settling down and pursuing worldly affairs. These three ways complement each other, cannot be separated. If you stray from the way of heaven, it is perilous. If you stray from the holy way, it is difficult. If you stray from the human way, it is dangerous. Persuasion and conversation are an art, usually. It depends on the person you are talking to. With the wise, rely on understanding. With the knowledgeable, rely on argumentation with the debaters. Rely on essential points with the influential. Speak about power with the rich. Speak about nobility with the poor. Speak humbly with the weak. Speak gently with the courageous. Speak courageously. This is the flexible principle, depending on the situation. Speaking to persuade is an art. The root of people's dissatisfaction lies in the heart. If the heart is indisciplined, then the heart will be undisciplined. The heart is undisciplined due to the rampant desires. To pacify the world, one must first discipline oneself. To discipline oneself, one must first discipline the disturbances in the mind. Knowing that one can control the disturbances in the mind is because one knows oneself. Tiang Him is a very knowledgeable envoy. He carefully selects and uses Haiyan, who understands the situations of the four countries deeply and proficiently. Knowing oneself to the extreme makes it difficult to know others. That is, the disturbances from the outside are easy to control, but the disturbances from within are difficult to remove. If one cannot instill confidence in oneself, others cannot instill confidence in them either. Fun Ginti has the talent to judge all matters wisely. Nfik is good with words and skilled in writing, capable of dealing with matters related to various countries. Tiang Him consults with Hiam, then plans with Tiham. And finally, Fun Ginti makes judgments on all possible developments of the situation. Tro Bua Kai Phi emphasizes observing and understanding the level of involvement of individuals in affairs, as well as assessing the geopolitical landscape and the relationships between vassals. After completing their tasks, they prepare appropriate written responses for the dignitaries of the respective countries. Chen Ngong and Tu Ccct suggest using strategies to scatter authority to disrupt the alliances of adversaries, dispersing their power while strengthening their own influence. These strategies encompass a wide range of approaches to diplomacy, negotiation, and statecraft, reflecting the complexity and depth of political and social interactions. K-21 to K-26 outline various strategic approaches, such as understanding human nature, utilizing intelligence, and leveraging strengths and weaknesses. When facing a tough individual, one tends to engage in constant conflict, but when facing a gentle person, one becomes gentle as well. Hence, the art of soft control binds the rigid easily, revealing their weaknesses. By remaining calm and observant, one can identify these vulnerabilities and employ the 47th strategy, uphold righteousness. Only those with righteousness can strategize effectively. Therefore, we must adhere to the right path to win people's hearts. Strike at the core. People vary in preferences. Some prefer tranquility, while others seek action. Some crave fame, while others pursue profit. Some value integrity, while others flatter. The wise must understand their opponent's weaknesses to exploit them. Credit and forget faults. Those with false bravado often overlook their mistakes, relying on their strengths. To avoid difficulties, the noble must be tolerant towards others and forgive their faults. Such magnanimity allows them to strike the enemy effectively. Seek virtuous individuals. Utilize virtues to win over noble souls who employ wisdom to influence others positively. It requires considering every possible means to persuade them. Eternal fame, even after death. Virtuous individuals are remembered fondly, while others, obsessed with fame and fortune, leave behind a tarnished legacy. Therefore, focus on leaving a positive mark on history. Withdraw to advance. Employ tactics to retreat strategically, maintaining composure and dignity, thus earning respect from both allies and enemies. Great benevolence. Master the art of influence, understanding cosmic phenomena to manipulate the weather and seasons, ensuring universal compliance. Attack and defend simultaneously. By mastering both offense and defense, one gains control over the enemy's actions while protecting one's own interests. Maintain balance. Balance ensures harmony and stability, crucial for survival amidst opposition. Adaptability and equilibrium are paramount. Concealment. Conceal intentions until the opportune moment, utilizing the wisdom of the ancients to achieve one's goals discreetly. Indirect observation. Understand others' intentions through subtle observation of their daily actions, discerning their true desires. Correct mistakes. Wise leaders correct their mistakes promptly, adjusting their strategies to maintain credibility and trust. Retreat to advance. Wise individuals analyze the situation, knowing when to step back to assess and then advance strategically. Reciprocate. Before seeking gains from others, reciprocate their desires to establish mutual trust, ensuring cooperation. Indirect influence. Persuade others indirectly, subtly guiding them towards desired actions without arousing suspicion. Strike the strong's weaknesses. The victorious often become complacent after winning, making them vulnerable. By remaining calm and analytical, one can exploit their weaknesses. Avoid arrogance. Avoid overestimating oneself, recognizing potential pitfalls to prevent self-inflicted harm. Lead by inducement. Guide others through subtle persuasion, exploiting both their ignorance and wisdom to achieve desired outcomes. Exploit the enemy's weaknesses. Use the enemy's vulnerabilities to gain advantages, employing spies to infiltrate and gather intelligence. Solo mastery. Even as a lone entity, one can navigate through challenges freely, leveraging knowledge and skills to overcome obstacles. Mutual benefit. Persuade others through rational arguments, convincing them to act in ways that benefit both parties. Visualization. Envision obstacles and adversaries to prepare adequately, persevering towards ambitious goals despite opposition. Learn from enemies. To achieve victory, learn from all, including adversaries and those of superior intellect, adapting strategies accordingly. Disregard personal gain. True nobility lies in selflessness and adherence to divine principles, transcending worldly desires for inner peace and contentment. Trust in deeds, not words. Actions speak louder than words. Therefore, trust deeds over promises. Deep infiltration. Infiltrate the enemy's inner circle covertly, gaining strategic advantages through subtle manipulation. In conclusion, QCCCT's timeless wisdom continues to resonate with seekers of truth and spiritual seekers across the globe. As we reflect on his teachings and integrate them into our lives, may we walk the path of wisdom and embody the timeless truths of QCCCT's philosophy. Deep infiltration. Infiltrate the enemy's inner circle covertly, gaining strategic advantages through subtle manipulation. Disregard personal gain. True nobility lies in selflessness and adherence to divine principles, transcending worldly desires for inner peace and contentment.
Thank you for joining us on this journey into the world of Stoicism. We hope you found this exploration enlightening and inspiring. Remember, in the words of Marcus Aurelius, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Please subscribe. Don't forget to like and turn on notifications, so you don't miss the latest videos from my YouTube channel. Thank you very much. Thank you for following and supporting me. Wishing you always joy, happiness and success.